What's up, family? Hey, I want to jump on here and we're going to have a real heart to heart today, okay? It's going to get deep, it's going to get kind of heavy. Stay with me, we're going to go somewhere. You guys know my story. Um, how my father murdered my mom when I was two, stabbed her right in front of me. Um, Grew up in a very religiously fanatic household, you know. Everything was a sin. I had the devil in me, you know what I mean? Stay with me, we're going to go somewhere. Um, I was sexually abused um, twice by two different church guys. Um, just went through it, you know what I mean? One thing I know that as a young man, it's weird because my father, when he got out of prison, I was already a teenager. And he kept going back and forth on stupid parole violations. But he taught me a few things. He taught me how to play handball, prison politics, how to work out prison style, um, prison politics, handball. I think that's pretty much it. I think it's like four things that he taught me. And I was mad at him because it's like all he taught me was prison stuff, how to make spread. And that's top ramen noodles and hooking it up. I don't eat that crap now, but yeah. Um, and also pissed at him. Just like, man, I came here, I didn't ask to be born, and this is all you could teach me? This is all you could give me? Is how to survive in the pen? These four things? I was so pissed off. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. It's gonna get deep today. I was so pissed off because I looked at all these other people. It's like, man, their fathers have decent jobs. Their fathers teaching them about finances. Their fathers teaching them about businesses. Their father teaching them about love. Their fathers teaching them about whoop de whoop de whoop. You know what I mean? And you taught me how to survive in the pen. That's not funny. What's that got to do with the title? Everything. I went to work at a prison, and because I wanted to see the mentality, I wanted to understand the dynamics of prison life. Stay with me. I've never been to the penitentiary. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have been. I'm saying that I've never been. You know what I mean? Um, and I was a counselor, substance abuse counselor. We talked to guys about anger management, domestic violence, of course, drugs, alcohol, um, financial planning, just a whole bunch of different things that we taught the guys, the inmates. And the thing about prison, especially out in California, man, it's very segregated in the aspect that there's prison politics. Stay with me. We're going somewhere. When I say prison politics, I'm talking about prison rules, that the inmates abide by. Not the stupid stuff that the correction officers say, but the inmates have their own rules. Okay? And so the prison politics dictated that, the northern Hispanics couldn't associate with the southern Hispanics, and just the blacks and whites couldn't hang out, and the blacks couldn't hang out with the southern Hispanics, and just we'll do all these other little stupid stuff, right? And so I realized that, man, you know what? Talking to these guys and being transparent with them and telling my story to them and hearing their stories, I saw these inmates, and it was weird. It was like this is when I knew it was time for me to leave. I became the senior counselor. I had 81, 82 inmates up under my supervision. I had like 5 staff up under my supervision. We trained all the new staff coming to the job. I realized that I could do this. And what I mean by that is that I could live there. Stay with me. Stay with me. We're going somewhere. What am I talking about? All those guys, the white guys, the Northern Hispanic guys, the Southern Hispanic guys, the Crips, the Bloods, the Asians, everybody else in the in amongst their peers, they had their face on. You know, they had to abide by their politics, their rules. You know, but when I brought them into office, one on one, now they could become more transparent. Now they could become more vulnerable because they knew who I was. They knew it was a safe place. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. You know what I mean? They knew it was a safe place. They knew they could trust me. They knew I wasn't with the foolishness. And so now they're capable of being real and real transparent. Stay with me. Unfortunately for so many of us, we don't know how to be transparent. And so we live fragmented lives. Stay with me. What am I talking about, fragmented lives? We grew up and this was unacceptable, that was unacceptable, and you could like this and your parents didn't like that. And so you had to subside that like, that passion, that desire. You know what I mean? You could want to do this, you could want to do this, you could want to do that. And they told you that was stupid, that was dumb, that was devilish, that was this, that. They told you all this stupid stuff, right? It didn't stop you from liking it. It didn't stop you from wanting to do it. You just learned how to hide that. You learned how to live a fragmented life. And so when you don't get, as kids growing up, and you do things as young adults growing up, and adults, even in relationships, you get around certain people who are beating you down for something, who turn, oh girl, I don't like that. Ooh, that don't look right on you. And ooh, why you wear that? And da da da. We learn these behaviors. Man, I gotta fit in. I gotta be accepted. And so in order for me to be accepted, I gotta act this way. I have to talk this way. I have to live this way. But we're fragmented because part of us ain't trying to do all of that. Part of us want to do something else. But we know if we do something else, we're not going to be accepted. And so we live this life of turmoil, battling back and forth. And so we don't know how to be honest and transparent because we're scared. We're afraid of the rejection. We're afraid of, what people are going to think about us. So many of us, we have the shame that we're carrying, and it's like, man, I feel guilty because I like this. I feel guilty because I like this. I feel guilty because, I really want to do this and I'm doing this, but nobody knows I'm doing this, and whoop and man, and then I come over here and I know these people wouldn't accept that, and so I'm going back and forth because I have the shame that, man, if they find out my secret, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna think? Crazy thing. As a kid, a young man, I had anger issues, real bad anger issues. And my anger issues stem from the fact that the hell that I grew up in, and it was just molestation, just compounded everything, you know what I mean? And so when I saw people laughing in my direction, I saw guys and, looking at me and smiling or laughing, man, in my weird, twisted way, these people didn't even know me. They didn't even know me as a little kid. But in my weird, twisted way, my shame, my ego kicked in. It's like, what the heck they laughing at? Oh, they must know my secret. They must know that I was molested. So I'm walking up to them, and man, I'm ready to put in some work. And I'm asking them, what are you laughing at? What's so funny? And before they could get out their mouth, I'm taking off. Bye, you know, just stupid. I understand. You know what I mean? It was stupid. It was real ignorant. That's how I dealt with my anger. It's not my anger. That's how my shame, you know. And I had to realize, man, these people don't even know me. They didn't even know me as a 6-year-old kid. How could they know that I was molested? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you tripping. You tripping. Stop walling out. But again, that fragmented life, that shame. And I see so many young ladies with that same shame. I see so many men carrying that same shame, you know. And man, don't even talk about the sex. Don't even talk about the shame of you having a you liking this person, but that goes against everything your religious groups tell you. You know what I mean? Don't know intuitively that you're gay or inside that you're gay and you've been gay since you were a little kid, but you couldn't tell nobody because that's not how you grew up and your family's like totally against that. You know what I mean? And man, the shame that those people carry, you know, man, it's off the charts. You know, especially when you're trying to fit in. And so, what does that got to do with love? Family. In order for me to love the rest of the world, again, I grew up hating everybody. You know, I grew up hating the world. You know, and I think that's why I resonated so much with, you know, Pac. You know, me against the world. You know what I mean? Man, I didn't give a crap about the world. I didn't give a crap about anybody in the world. You know what I mean? Um, Man, I hated everything. I hated everybody, including myself. Once I learned to love me, all of my fragments, and pick up my little pieces and put them all together. You know, when they talk about Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall and all those little pieces, when you're fragmented, when you grew up in that type of life, you're fragmented. You're cracked in a bunch of different pieces. You don't know who the heck you are. You know what I mean? One minute you're this, one minute you're this, one minute you're this, you're this. You're all these people, but they all look totally different and they look contrary to each other, you know, contradictory. You know what I mean? And that's still who you are. You know what I mean? And so, once I learned to pick up all those pieces and how to put those pieces back together, that was healing. That was growth and development. That was self love. And so when I talk about love, when I talk about growth and development, when I talk about healing, they're all connected. They are all connected. I'm going to say that again. Self love, healing, growth and development, that's all it that's all love. Healing is love. Growth and development is an aspect of love. And so you can't separate them. But our society, we're so used to just separating everything. We want to divide everything, put everything in its own little category. And you fragment everything when you do that, especially as an individual, you fragment yourself. And so we live a life of shame and guilt. And so we have to learn to accept ourselves. We have to learn to accept ourselves. And once you learn to truly accept yourself, and that's picking up all the fragmented pieces and putting them back together. And once you're able to do that and love that person, man, you could love the world. You could love every dope fiend out there. You could love every rapist out there. You could love every terrorist out there. You could love anybody. Anybody. I don't care what they've done. You can love them. And you do love them. Why? Because you understand, man, if I talk to you, I don't even have to talk to you. But in order for you to love me, in order for you to connect with me, we have to be transparent. You know what I mean? But I can love you without even having to talk to you. Why? Because I can see that God nature in you. There's that word again, namaste, you know. Um, and it's the God in me, the light in me, sees, acknowledges, recognizes the light or the God in you. I'm going to say that again, namaste. It's the God or the light within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges the light or God in you. And so no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, I still see, I still recognize, and I still acknowledge the light and God in you. And I don't care how dark your life is. I don't care how corrupt you are. I don't care how twisted you are. I don't care how spun out you are. Every single one of us have that God or that light essence within us. And so when I see that in you, I see me in you. And because I love me, I have to love you because I see me in you. And I see you in me. I'm going to say that again. When I look at you, I see me in you. When I look at you, I see me in you. And I see you in me. So how can I love me, this me, and not love me in you? You know what I mean? How can I love the light, the God in me, that is me, and not love the God and light that's in you? And it's the same. It's the same. Don't get caught up on the shell. Don't get caught up on the housing unit, the appearance. We have to go deeper. We have to go deeper. And so it's easy for me to sit back and say, man, I love people. And truly, genuinely mean it. Why? Because in every person, and I tell people all the time, it's like, man, I don't care who you are. It don't matter to me. I could sit down and talk to anybody. And I've learned this as a young man. I could sit down for some reason. People just gravitated to me. People just always wanted to talk to me. And I always recognize, man, anybody could talk to me. Man, I could find a commonality within us, a common bond in us, you know. And it didn't matter who they were. They could be a bum on the street or a homeless person, you know what I mean? They could be a dope fiend. They could be somebody in prison, whatever the case may be. I can find something in us, you know, that we make this connection on, you know, and we could just sit there laughing and chopping it up and like we homies, you know what I mean? Like we best friends, you know what I mean? And it's like, I just met this person. Don't even know these people. Why? Because of that kindred spirit. And we all have that kindred spirit because we all have the same spirit. I'm going to say that again because I know that went over your head. A lot of people says we all have kindred spirits because we all have the same spirit. And that's the God nature. That's that light within us. Just because you don't put it on display, just because you don't allow yourself to become transparent so that it's vibrating out of you, don't mean that it's not there. Just because you wilding out doing stupid stuff, don't mean that that spirit is still not there. I say this a lot. We are spiritual beings. It is that spiritual being that is who we are. And so when I see your spiritual being, your spirit is not a bad spirit. The things you do as a human being may be bad, but your spirit is not bad. And that's where we get twisted at. That's where religion get twisted at. You know, we look at people and it's like, oh man, wooty wooty woo, you know what I mean? I was like, man, calm down, chill out, you know what I mean? Stop being freaking fanatical, you know, stop being ignorant, you know? their spiritual being doesn't need healing. Your spiritual being don't need healing. We just need to come into understanding of who the heck we are and what's going on in our lives. And once we do that, the healing aspect is, man, I'm allowing those wounds to go away. Those wounds no longer have an impact, or they no longer have a negative impact on my life. That toxic energy, that dormant energy is no longer just sitting there causing pain. You know what I mean? And so it's easy to love other people. It's easy to love everybody else when you truly love you. All of you. Not just a certain aspect of you. Because many of us, we love just a tiny part of who we are. We love the part of us that gives us the most likes, that gives us the most good feelings. You know what I mean? So if you're a Christian and you go to church and you're on this board or woo-de-woo, you love that aspect of you. But you're ashamed of the other aspects of you that, man, you're a freak. You know what I mean? You're an undercover freak and you don't want nobody to know. You know what I mean? Or, man, you got a lot of anger issues and you want to chop some heads off, but you can't let that be known at church. You know what I mean? Because you're a Christian and you can't act like that. You know what I mean? And so you fragmented. You're fragmented. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's okay. Accept that. Because you can never heal that until you accept that. And once you accept the fact that you're fragmented, but what most of us do is like, oh, that's just the devil. What they would do? Nah, that's you. That's you. Chill out. That's you. That's a part of you. That's a part of you that you're ashamed of. You know what I mean? That's a part of you that you're embarrassed about. That's a part of you that you're scared to let know. Relax. Chill out. Because you can't really love yourself and hate all those other aspects about who you are. And so when I talk about self-love, I'm talking about the self-love of loving all of you, not just a part of you, not just the good part of you, not just the nice part of you, all of you. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.